Now, the Gauteng Education Department has announced that an independent investigation has been launched into the death of a grade 6 Refalotse Primary School pupil. The drowning incident is said to have taken place on Friday during a school trip. For more, we're joined by Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane. Very good evening to you, MEC. Thank you for your time. Another devastating tragedy on a school trip. You've interacted with teachers and parents of the deceased learner. What are your findings?
Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. So far, what we did today was to go and speak to the stakeholders in the school. When I speak about stakeholders, I'm speaking about SGB educators as well as the local community leaders, as well as we visited the family of the deceased learner to offer our support and condolences. But however, the critical step that we've undertaken is to seek an independent report as to what really transpired. So we are to appoint a law firm that will investigate the incident and give us a report as to what really has transpired. But the details that we have is what we have communicated in our statements.
And in terms of authorization, I mean, judging from past events that have happened involving school trips, was this camp authorized by the department?
Yes, it was, because the process is that there needs to be an authorization and it goes to all the way up to the senior management, even to myself as the MEC. It does get to me so that I can authorize certain trips. So there was an authorization in that regard, and as you know, it means there had to be a set of compliance that the school had to demonstrate that it did get approval of the parents, and they've also set up systems in place to ensure that there's safety for the learners as well as the elders, in this case educators, that will be on that particular trip.
So we know that this is not the first time, MEC, that learners have drowned during school trips. We can never forget what happened in 2020. I mean, a lot of reports were around the Parktown Boys High School, which saw a grade 8 pupil, Enoch Mpianzi, drown and die during an orientation camp. This year, of course, we also saw 2 boys from the Hoër School in Birchley drowning while on a beach trip in Durban. That happened in March. Pointing now to a much bigger problem in need of urgent intervention. How are you going to be working around this to put an end to it? Because it really does raise a serious cause for concern.
Yeah, you know, the issue is the systems that need to be put in place. We cannot deny our children to learn and really do some form of water sports, but there needs to be a set of precautions in place to ensure that there's full compliance in terms of safety. There should be enough lifeguards. There should be the educators or the responsible parties on those particular trips should be on standby, viewing what is happening with regard to the participation of learners on such trips, or rather water-related activities. So that's what we're emphasizing, really. So in the main, obviously, these are really painful situations where you really have to encounter a passing of a learner through this form. But however, we emphasize precaution. We emphasize safety. We emphasize that if the school is to undertake this, there needs to be a tightened and thorough process that can evidence a process in place to ensure that the learners will go to that particular trip or excursion and come back safe with nothing but good memories of that particular excursion.
So as you say that parties should be on standby and in terms of educators view what's happening, because we understand with this trip that there were teachers and some parents. And I mean, I don't know if you're able to confirm whether or not there were lifeguards present there. because one would assume if there were no lifeguards that the educators that are being sent there are trained and upskilled in terms of, knowing how to swim, knowing what to do in such incidents, because it's all very well to monitor the children, but should an incident happen, I would assume that one of the teachers or the parents or whoever was there and authorized to be there should be able to jump in and do something.
Yeah. Yes, there were educators, and the learner was pulled out of the pool, and the report I have currently is that they did try to resuscitate him. But however, that's why we have appointed a law firm to assist us to bring to light what truly transpired, who was there, were there lifeguards on standby, what did they do, what truly, so that we can have full facts. Hence, we are going the independent route as opposed to a report coming from the district upward. We know that with the independent law firm, then they would also be able to investigate, also yes. Be able to interview witnesses that were present.
Okay,
so that we can really...
Thank you. MEC, unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop you there, but thank you for your time. Thanks for briefing us on that. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane.